I made a video talking about the future of Drayton Manor almost a year ago now, and wow, have things changed since then. I think we all believed that this park was on the brink of closing last year, but luckily the Looping Group has swooped in, purchased the park and given the management of Drayton Manor the money that they needed to sort the place out. And in today's video I'll be talking all about the future of the park, which luckily is a very different story from last time. Before we get into today's video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this, talking about all things theme parks. Please also leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, but no pressure. The links to my social pages, shop and blog are in the description. Thanks for your support. So what we'll talk about first then is what we know is happening for 2021, and that's a complete retheme of the area where Shockwave, Stormforce 10, Maelstrom and Air Race are, and the refurbishment and reopening of the Splash Canyon River Rapids ride. They seem to be going with that whole Funhouse, Mad Hatter, bright colours everywhere kind of theme, just like Pleasurewood Hills, another Looping Group park have been doing with their log flume, now called the Water Fun Factory. It also sounds highly likely that a new wave swinger will be going in that area as well, because you can never get too many wave swingers. There are also loads of rumours going around about a possible Zamperla disco or disco coaster with the hill in the middle going in that area too, and I think that it'd be a good intermediate thrill ride for the park. Disco's one of my favourite flat rides, and fingers crossed hopefully it will be operated in the same way that Kong is at West Midland Safari Park, another park that they own. It's very fast and speedy and it's just really fun, definitely the best one of those that I've been on. Let's hope it doesn't have any of those tiny death seat belts as well that cut off the blood circulation to your legs, hurt like hell and just spoil the ride completely. So then, what does this tell us about how the Looping Group plans to invest into Drayton Manor? Well, clearly it says that the new rides will feature some sort of a theme in the future, that the park intends to still offer a good selection of thrill rides, and probably that Zamperla are a rides manufacturer that will become very friendly with. More about that later. Moving on, let's talk about the site of the former Excalibur boat ride. What I'd like the most personally is to see the site being turned back into an immersive, themed boat ride, and maybe even a whole mini medieval themed area that's created around the ride. The lake that the abandoned ride is on is absolutely massive, so obviously that doesn't all need to be used for a new boat ride, and the path could be opened up at the side of the Pirate's Adventure to let people wander down and relax by the side of the lake, and they could even put some new rides in either by concreting over part of the lake, or far preferably in my opinion, having the rides jetting out over the water just like at Indiana Beach. I'd like to see rides like a Windstar or a Twist and Bounce, and they look like so much fun. I've never been on one of them before and I think there's only a few of them around, so it would be great if one came to Drayton Manor. If Drayton Manor decides that they'd like a couple of more thrilling rides over there, an S&S Screaming Swing would be a really cool fit, or maybe a Starflyer from Zamperla. It is possible that the lake is just concreted over and that they put a flat ride package on there like the ones I've just talked about, but I would personally far rather that the lake stays, and as does Excalibur in some form, as a more modern boat and dark ride. The medieval theme can easily fit onto all of these rides, and let's just remember that the rides I've just talked about could absolutely be built, as rumours are that the Looping Group are planning on spending several £1,000,000 for several years on really beefing up the ride lineup at the park. As I talked about in Sunday's theme park news summary, it seems very likely that Apocalypse and Pandemonium, or at least Pandemonium, will be leaving the theme park probably after the 2021 season. Removing these two thrill rides will obviously leave a void in the lineup at the theme park, but by what we've already seen is happening this year, with them retaining the thrill rides in the new themed area and potentially adding a Zamperla disco, we do know that Drayton Manor, while being a theme park aimed at families, does intend to keep a good thrill ride offering. A lot of rumours are circulating around them buying the B&M invert that's up for sale from Q8, and don't get me wrong, there have been stranger things to happen in the theme park world. I mean, just look at Alton Towers and the new Funfair rides, but somehow I have my doubts that Drayton Manor are about to go and buy a roller coaster of that size. Yes, it will be cheaper than buying a B&M coaster out of the factory, of course, but it's still going to cost a lot, especially given how much it'll cost just to get it here from Q8. We're hearing rumours that millions will be spent at Drayton, and I think it will be, but I highly doubt that it'll be enough to even come close to the cost of buying a B&M inverted coaster, shipping it over from Kuwait and doing any needed maintenance to it after it'll have been sitting there abandoned for several years. I would love to be proven wrong on this one, and maybe I will, but I am personally highly sceptical about these rumours. The other rumour, a 4D free spin? Maybe. I think there's definitely more of a chance of that than a relocated B&M inverted coaster from Kuwait, and it would really be good to see this ride come to the UK, but still, would Drayton Manor buy one of the most intense and out of control rides that they could possibly get their hands on? I'm not 100% sure that they would, and I think that the kind of thrill rides we'll be seeing at Drayton Manor are more like the Zamperla Disco wooden coaster kind of thrills, rather than the Mondial Top Scan, free spin, mega intense kind of thrills. Again, I'd love to see a free spin come to the UK, and I think it's completely possible that it could happen, but I'm just trying to be a bit realistic and give my views as to how Drayton Manor might look on this from their perspective. Two alternative coaster ideas that Drayton Manor might look at are either a Gravity Group wooden coaster or a Zamperla motorbike coaster. Either would be a great fit, but I'm leaning towards a motorbike coaster since it would be a great fit with accelerator in the surrounding area. The standard layout of this ride could fit quite easily into the site and leave some spare area too. That could be used for some seating areas and the queue line as well. And while we're talking about this, let's give Accelerator a repaint from that ugly green colour that doesn't fit at all and give it a sleek, dark red paint scheme instead. It would look much better. The Pirates Adventure building is too good of a space for new attractions to miss out on, and there are a few different options that the park could do with it. The first is an indoor coaster that takes up the full building, such as maybe an indoor Wild Mouse, indoor family coaster, or a Zamperla Super Twist or Factory coaster. The second is to do what Holiday Park has done and open this building as an indoor themed area with rides inside there and a Tivoli roller coaster as well, that these obviously can be open throughout the year, including at the Christmas event. I'm not sure which option I actually prefer here, but either way I think we'll be seeing a new roller coaster going in there, and whatever it is, I'm pretty sure they'll probably stick with the pirate theme. The last area of the park to talk about is the field on the other side of the lake where the Buffalo coaster is. First things first, I think that the Buffalo coaster is here to stay, and I don't think that it will be going anywhere for a long time yet. If there's any spare parts that they need, their good friend Zamperla, who they'll be very well acquainted with by now if they go along with this list of predictions, can get them for them, since they were the ones who made this ride way back in 1987. There are some markers on this field, so they clearly have every intention of building something here over the next few years, and I think it is entirely possible that we could get a nice wooden coaster on this field, and hopefully a shuttle one at that too. It could become a real headline attraction for the park, and I'd expect that if they did, they'd probably go with the hybrid version that has a steel support structure and just the track is wooden, as this makes it not only a lot cheaper to maintain, but it also looks a lot nicer too. There can be some noise complaints from nearby residents over the rides in that area sometimes, so I would guess that this ride won't be absolutely massive, and if they do build something like this, it will probably have a height and stat similar to the Switchback at ZDT's, and certainly not much taller than about 60 feet. Some of the soundproof boards and other methods used on the wooden coaster at Plopsaland Japan could also be used here if needed as well. Given this ride a western theme to fit with the Buffalo coaster, and nearby Sheriff Showdown, the shooting dark ride, should be very easy to do, and I really do think it would be an awesome and realistic for this to happen. In terms of the rest of the field, I'd get a permanent seating area put up, maybe some restaurants as well, and do shows on the lake for people to watch. The theme park business model of running lots of different shows and events at different times of the year for people to come back for works really well, and they could do events here for hotel guests in the evenings as well. The only other areas of the park that we've not covered in today's video are the zoo and Thomasland. I don't know very much about either, but I doubt that with everything else that's going on in the main park, that much else will be going on there. The zoo will likely get some new and refurbished animal exhibits though, which will be a really good thing because from what I can remember about my last visit, which I think was way back in 2016, it was a bit run down and dated. Thanks for watching today's Theme Park Jack YouTube video. If you did enjoy it and you'd like to see more, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel, but no pressure. The links to my shop, blog and social pages are down in the description, so be sure to check them out. Thanks for your support and I'll see you in the next video coming very soon.